Hello and welcome to Orion Today. I'm your host, Luis Mendieta, and we have with us the most acclaimed group from Lake Orion, Penniless.
He's doing. Thanks for your hospitality. We sure appreciate it. How you doing, man?
All
You
right,
good?
very good, very good. Let me see. Let's start with your names. What's your name?
I'm Daff. This is our bass player, T-Bone. This is Bonzo,
Lonzo.
and this here Rob. He's our lead guitar and all around good guy. The rest of us, we trouble.
All right, well, good. Well, all this has started. Can you tell me where you started?
We started like near the end of January.
I believe I found you on
Craigslist. Yeah, and I was wading through all all the marvelous characters that one meets on Craigslist. But it started for me like a while back. I was singing in the shower, and I've been writing these songs in my head forever and singing in the shower for myself. And I had a friend come about 20 minutes early for something. I was still, in the bathroom getting ready, and was singing, and he asked me he said, "Was that you?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I didn't know I could sing, and it started there. Started doing open mics and picked up a guitar finally, and 14 years later, here we are.
Well, that sounds excellent. That sounds pretty good. Tell me where the name came from.
That came from a song we got. Bonzo thought it was perfect for the group. We got a song called Penniless. We'll go ahead and I don't know, we'll play that after the show's over if y'all like. And then, so we figured it fit what we're trying to say, too. We're trying to say, hey, working class people worked really hard, but they're not getting what they earned, So, we worked our whole lives and we penniless. So it kind of says it all,
Well, tell me what kind of music do you guys play in your group?
It's hard to describe.
It's kind of our own genre.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. It's a roots rock kind of thing. We like to call it folk punk because, like me, I don't know how to play a guitar really. If you take a look, anybody that knows how to play a guitar realizes that I'm not hitting the chords I should be, and I'm missing a string off my guitar. And everything we do it ourselves, man. Because I don't know, we want to be able to give as much to the music and to the fans as we can, so we don't want to waste a lot of resources and time on.
Do you write your own songs?
Oh yeah,
you do.
Yeah, in fact, the only covers we do are ones that'll fit in with the songs that we're doing. This is all about the music with us. The music first, and we figure if we take care of the music, eventually the music will take care of us. Songs like a living thing, and it can live beyond any of us. Like the oldest song in the world is besides the Shadoof chant from Egypt is the Old Lang Syne, which is old Scottish hymn. Nobody even knows who wrote the thing. So the song lived beyond the author. So it's not really about the authors. It's about these things that if they get into enough heads and hearts, then they take on a life of their own, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give these things a little bit of life before we ain't got none left in us to give to them.
That's good. How's the chemistry on your group, on your band?
That's the only thing to make this thing work. That's the only thing that'll make a band work. In fact, I know you guys on the same show, you got a classical group, and I don't know how those guys do it, how you get so many people to just coordinate and work together. It's hard enough getting 4 people. It's just hard enough getting 2 people that get along, and we're really, really fortunate, blessed. We're blessed in that all of us pretty much get along great.
Well, that's pretty good. Who influences you on this kind of music that you play, or how do you get inspired to play all this music?
I'm inspired by the fact that those that have been leading us ain't really leading us anywhere except in circles to their own benefit. That inspires me. I'm inspired by the fact that there's a lot of loyal, hard-working people that ain't getting what they got coming, and there's a lot of parasites that getting a lot more than they deserve. And so that's what inspires us, and or at least is what inspires me, and I think it's what inspires us as a group, and it certainly seems to be the inspiration of the music.
All right, what are the biggest challenges that you see on your band?
Well, somebody's going to try to say it's our age. I don't think so. I think the music's going to speak for itself, and our energy will too. It's going to let people know that, that has nothing to do with it. Our biggest challenge, I think, is going to be, getting out there and trying to just keep ourselves going long enough to put in the kind of time it takes to get a following. That's really what this is about, is getting enough people with these stuck in their heads that the song will keep going long after any of us is gone,
If you guys had a chance to play with another band, which band would you like to play with? If you had to pick a band.
That's a really hard question. That's a really hard question. Wow.
Yeah, right?
I can't even answer that. I don't think there is an answer for that.
The Traveling Wilburys. Just because I could hang out with the most legends at the same time.
I have a lot of answers for that question. I have a lot of answers for that question. So.
All right. What about you?
I'd go with the Traveling Wilburys. Why not?
Right?
I'm going to duly note that, Traveling Wilburys.
All right, but I guess you guys are into that kind of music? And
No, I just thought there's some really cool songwriters, and there's all 4 of them. And you said we can only pick one group, so there's 4 like superstars in one group. I was just trying to get most from my pick.
All right.
I'm a bargain hunter like that.
So where do you started to play your guitar? Where do you came from? What is just the idea to want to play guitar?
Picking up the guitar, I picked up the guitar because you can't get any respect in this game if you're just a singer-songwriter. Unless you can play an instrument, ain't nobody gonna give you the time of day in this game.
And also, I want to ask you how you want to play the bass here, and where do you decided to play the bass?
When they didn't give me a 6-string.
What about you, the drums?
I've been playing the drums now for probably about 30 years. I played a lot of cover songs in a lot of different bands, a lot of different bars, and then found DAF online, and we've been doing this original stuff here for probably, 3-4 months now, and it's working out good, and I hope it continues to.
All right, sounds pretty good. And what about you with the guitar?
Well, I wanted to be the bass player, but they kicked me to the curb on that one, so I had to find an old guitar here, 1959 silver tone, found in the pawn shop, and I said, go at it. So I did.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I think that all of you guys are inspired, and I'm sure you play wonderful and do beautiful music, and your creations that you do. And you say you write songs. Yeah. What motivates you? All the songs that you play. Oh, you all the songs that you play here.
Yeah, I got probably about 56 I can do, and probably another 50 that I can't play.
How can you describe the songs? They're like love songs?
No, not at all. Well, if they love songs, they love for the American people, love for all the working class people, the people out there that ain't getting what they deserve. It's for the loyal people, the people that have been right and have borne basically the brunt of getting us from having zero technology to being where we are right now. These are the people that bore the brunt of that labor, and they deserve a break today,
Do you have any plans in the future for your band?
I don't know. It all depends on the band, where the music takes us, where experiences take us. We just riding this out, one note at a time, man. And then once we get to the next note, then whatever's behind us is behind us. And so I don't know. If we plan too much, expectations become the enemy, and I'm not really into all that, because it just makes you disappointed later on.
Have you any music done already? Any recordings have it?
Oh, we've recorded this and that, and I did a little bit of studio stuff just early on when I was just trying to get somebody interested in what I was doing. But mostly we're just gonna try to get as many live recordings as we can and start doing some of that DIY stuff, and we're trying to make it so that there's really high quality stuff for people that want to pay for the music, and then we're gonna have some other stuff that's just maybe a little lower quality, but live and so that people can just go ahead and share, as they want, because, that's the idea, is to get it out there and get as many people loving this music as we can.
All right. Where will be your ideal place to play? You have a special place we love to play, a particular place that you actually would love to play there?
Me? Yeah, I would like to play in the middle of a park without a permit, build a stage, have 300 people come and just enjoy it, and to the point that they enjoying the music so much that if anybody comes up to stop us, they'll stand in between them and us and make sure we finish the show before we get dragged off. That's what I like.
Seems like you're very creative.
Well, I just got a mission. I'm a man on a mission, I'm mission-oriented. I'm a goal-oriented guy. I don't want to waste a lot of time on ego and fluffing myself up. I want to just get this job done, and this job is making sure that rock and roll can do what it's always been here to do, which is to get us riled up and and channeling our anger in a good direction.
So what do you see? What can you tell the new bands coming up there? How this business is like? Is it tough for new musicians to come up with?
I think it's getting easier for new musicians, but you gotta. There's just so many people out there that think that they're gonna make it, and it's kind of hard, I say don't ever give up on your dreams.
You know where the last American Idol is?
No.
I don't either.
Well, we're trying to find out who the.
That ship sailed a long time ago. I'm just in it to have fun.
Right. Yeah.
That ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah, so somebody coming up, I would say, just believe in the music, have fun, and every time you get behind an amplifier, whatever energy you put into the microphones, into the instruments, that's coming out through. It's amplified and it's coming out to people and it's washing over them. So make sure it's good energy coming out of what you're doing there. It doesn't necessarily have to be light and fluffy and rainbows and stuff. It could be a little, dark and gothic and metally and stuff like that. But just make sure it's good energy and that you love what you're doing when you're doing it. And that's as good as you can do.
I know shortly we're going to hear you guys play, but can you tell me a little bit about your guitar? I noticed there's a particular guitar that you are carrying here.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about? What is the history of this guitar here?
This guitar got some history. It's a 1961 Silvertone Model 604. This is not exactly a bragging right for a guy's guitar, but this is the same make and model of guitar that was in Breakfast at Tiffany's that what's her face played on the fire escape with a towel on her head. And then I got it. I was selling chocolate. We make the best chocolate in Michigan. And well, at least 6,500 people say we did. So, and one of my customers, he just came up and he said, I just had this sitting around, and I didn't think much of it at the time till somebody stole my Fender. And then I picked it up and strung some nylon strings on it and stuck a Dean Markley resonance pickup on the inside and a little thing here with some Gorilla Glue. And then I've been playing it ever since, man. It's the only guitar I'll play.
And I got to tell you, it sounds wonderful. I heard a little bit early, but are you guys gonna play again? And this is a wonderful thing. Let me ask you, how often do you guys practice?
Not as often as we should, but often enough to make sure that the music doesn't suffer.
He was saying that he's trying to get once a week at least.
Yeah,
practice,
we were
right?
doing it twice a week, but it's just I rough my chords up pretty good when I get to growling. So and I'm not as young as I used to be. So we're trimming it down to one practice a week for now. And maybe jam whenever the mood hits.
What kind of public do you guys have when people come to see you playing? What kind of people do come see you? All kinds of people?
Yeah, the demographic is off the chart. I mean, the people that come to us range from like we've seen 1-year-olds bouncing and yodeling to some of the choruses and the hooks on some of our songs, all the way up to, it doesn't matter. I mean, 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds just saying that they like the music. It's, I don't know. I think that one of the things that's nice about it is that there's some kind of throwback sound to it, some kind of throwback feel to it, so that we can, I don't know, appeal to everybody. We just want people to shake their tails and have a good time, enjoy the music. We don't get that stuff stuck in their head, First sample's free, so's the second one.
There is anything you would like to add to your band right here? Any instrument or anything that you would like to hear besides what you guys have?
Yeah, applause.
Applause. I was wondering, maybe a piano or something different, no?
I like the sound just the way it is. If anything, we'll get rid of the bass player and the guitarist. I'm just kidding.
I know he's just kidding. I know this group is wonderful. The creation, I mean, everything that you guys see is real. It's nothing fake about Penniless. And they get inspired on their own ideas, and especially what you have when you write your music, and you guys making it happen too, because the collaboration with all of you, it makes a big difference on the whole group here.
We are island. That's what we talk about when we get up here. I mean, it ain't that we don't love the hell out of everybody out in the audience. It's just that in order to do what we do and make it as good as we can make it, we got to become an island up here, and we on Penniless Island. We're gonna keep each other up and keep each other bouncing and keep each other from worrying about things and until the show is over. That way we ain't putting any of that off on the rest of you through amplifiers.
Well, that sounds pretty good. Now, I want to know, what is it that you actually do besides playing music? Do you have a different type of job or something that you do? Anything exciting?
I used to be an engineer. I call myself semi-retired now. I just do whatever it is that makes a buck. I can do just about anything. Work on cars, paint, light construction, fix PCs, program, electrical.
Entrepreneur. That's what I like that.
Yeah, well,
I like that. What about you guys?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
A jack of all trades.
Yeah, the same.
Same.
We're all kind of.
I don't work.
All right, so all of you guys have on entrepreneur.
Yeah, we already did our part, man. Like all my kids are growing up. I got 11 grandkids. I did my piece for the man. Now it's time to do something for my people and do something for myself and for for my family, for my people.
I noticed the way you wear your clothing, and I see Penniless. And all of you, does anybody design this, or you came up with the idea? Who came up with the idea about the clothing? You came up with the idea of the clothing.
Yeah, we wanted to have something so that everybody knows who we represent, who we stand for. We stand for the working class. We stand for working class people. Hipsters can come to our show. I mean, we don't mind. You hipsters want to come on down, we'll make sure there's lattes available.
Well, thank you very much once again. We want to thank you, all of you, for coming today, and all of you who are watching us here on Orion Today. We'd like to welcome our Penniless band, And once again, till next time, we'll see you here. And you're going to hear, coming up, Penniless play. Let's hear it. Thank you.
Go ahead and do Like a River next. Little song kind of like a river. Send the love out Detroit. Bring it on back. It's 25 below. The two
Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV.
Welcome back to Orion Today. And today we're going to talk with the Oakland Youth Orchestra. We'd like to start with your name.
My name is Matt.
From the right,
and
yes.
I play
And what
trombone.
instrument do you play?
I play trombone.
I'm Stephanie, I play the French horn.
I'm Teresa, I play the cello.
I'm Joanne Wally, and I'm Executive Director.
And my name is Bill Milicevic. I'm the conductor for the Symphony Orchestra.
Okay, well, we'd like to know how you got interested on music. I would like to know how you started it with music.
Well, I mean, for me, like a lot of our students, I started when I was very young with just the overall interest. My first instrument was, believe it or not, the accordion. I was 5 years old, and it was just something that everybody in my family did. Being of Croatian background, it's just something that we do until we don't do it anymore. And for me, that lasted about 1.5 years. And I was very happy to switch instruments because it wasn't my pick. But when I was 9 years old, I had the opportunity to learn how to play the violin in the school program, where I went to school, and I was also afforded the privilege of taking piano lessons as well. So for me, it started way back in the 4th grade.
How do you choose an instrument, especially for all young people here? How do you choose an instrument? How make you think, oh, this is what I'm going to play? Do they try out, or how do they pick what instrument they're going to play?
Well, every school district does it differently, and most students will learn how to play the instrument that they choose through whatever local school that they go to. In some cases, they'll try out a number of instruments just to see what they feel like, what they sound like, what it seems like they would be needing to do to play physically. And but sometimes it's based on what the student already knows about the instrument. Maybe their parent played, or maybe they just always liked a certain instrument or wanted to be unique on being featured in a certain section within an ensemble, like a band or like an orchestra.
How often do you guys practice? Can you tell us how often you practice during the day, or how is your practice?
It's normally recommended to practice at least 1 hour a day. I try to at least make that commitment.
And the rest of you do the same thing too?
Yeah.
You always find time to do that, right?
At my school, we have practice rooms, so I'm sometimes able to go when I don't have class on an hour, and I'll go in there and practice.
Well, that's very good. That's excellent. So, what instrument do you play?
I play cello, but I also sing. So.
Oh, you sing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's good. Did your school also allow, besides playing music, singing? And
Yeah, a lot of the local schools will have choir programs that are very developed, and also band programs, and many of them have string programs. The string programs are a little bit more rare, which is one of the reasons why an ensemble and an organization like Oakland Youth Orchestras is so important.
what can you tell us about the Oakland Youth Orchestras? How do they work together as all the orchestras that you guys have there?
Well, Joanne, would you like to take part of that one?
Sure. Oakland Youth Orchestra has a very long history. This year we're celebrating our 40th year in existence, and so it's been a very special year. The basic structure of the organization is it's a 4-tiered orchestra program. Students come in as young as 7 years old with some basic skills. Those are all stringed instruments, so basic little violinists, and then they can participate all the way through high school. So a student can potentially move from the studio string level up to string level, then they enter in middle school, high school, somewhere in there. They might enter into the Philharmonia, which is the first full orchestra experience, meaning we add brass, woodwinds, and percussion to that ensemble, and then building up to symphony orchestra in the upper high school years.
All right, well, why should we choose Oakland Youth Orchestras?
Well, you know, There are many youth ensembles in the area. Sometimes students will pick based on simple reasons like convenience as far as which night of the week or which day of the week. Sometimes it has to do with distance. Sometimes it has to do with social things. But Oakland Youth Orchestra is also very different in that our atmosphere is more family-like, and we strive to get everything done that we need to get done inside of a normal rehearsal week, which for us is 2 hours long every Thursday night, but yet maintain a high level of expectation while we're still fostering a nurturing environment for all of the grades.
Oh, very good. Joanne, who are the conductors?
Our conductors, we have 4 of them. We have Bill Milisevich, who is our symphony conductor. He also happens to be the Oxford Strings. What was your exact title, Bill?
Oh, well, I'm a teacher up the road in Oxford, but I'm also the kindergarten through 12th grade string coordinator.
And he also, just another couple of tidbits about Bill, he's also the Rochester Symphony Orchestra music director, as well as a Flint Symphony assistant principal, first violin. And so he maintains a really busy schedule. Our Philharmonia conductor is Miss Wendy Stewart, and she is the Clarkston School's string orchestra teacher. And she also has a lot of outside musical interests. She plays in Oakland Symphony as well as other Saginaw Symphony. So,
very interesting.
Yeah, John Kennedy is our string orchestra conductor, part of the Farmington Public School System. And again, is a big gigging, big bass performance advocate because he is a bass player. And then Nick Karpinski is our studio string conductor, and he is part of the Walled Lake District. Waterford, my mistake. Yes. I do that. And again, a gigging musician. So.
Very good. Bill, what kind of music the Oakland Youth Orchestra plays?
Well, typically, when one considers classical music, it's a large range of music, but we try to hit as many different genres as possible. If a student's with us for 2 or 3 years, let alone longer, they will get certain rotations in, whether it's French influence, German influence, Russian influence, American influence, Spanish influence. There's going to be a mix because when we do 3 concerts per year, they're themed differently. Sometimes there's not a specific theme other than maybe creating just a fresh approach of doing certain things, like maybe we'll play an overture on a certain concert, we'll do a symphony on a next concert, maybe we're accompanying, and some of the samples that you'll hear a little later on of our February concert include just that. They include a very special tone poem that we did, which is like when you explain a song with music but without using words, and you just create mind pictures with it. We accompanied our concerto competition winner, and the orchestra did a marvelous job responding to that, and soloist was wonderful. And you know, when we're thinking about what separates Oakland Youth Orchestra from many other ensembles, there are several things that we do. I believe that we offer more scholarships than anybody else in the entire area. Wow. And we have a very successful and thriving concerto competition or solo competition that we have every year. As a matter of fact, this just occurred a week and a half ago, and we have our winners that are going to be performing with the ensembles in 1 year from now.
Oh. And Joanne, how do we join the Oakland Youth Orchestra?
Okay, well, every year about this time, we do a lot of advertising in newspapers, through the schools, through the private teachers. And what students need to do is they go online to our website, and everything is done there. You sign up, you give us some basic information about yourself, and then you sign up for your audition date and time.
Good. And where do they have these concerts?
Our concerts are at the Oxford Fine Arts Center in the auditorium there, and they occur 3 times a year, typically November, February, and May.
That's good. Now, do the Oakland Youth Orchestra offers a scholarship too. I heard what you
Yeah,
were mentioning.
yeah, we do. Would you like to talk about the merit scholarships,
Yeah,
Dren?
there's Bill talked about the concerto competition, but in addition to that, we also offer a dozen or so merit scholarships that the students do actually a written essay. So it's not performance-based, and they talk about themselves and what they do both in and out of OYO with music in their lives, and they're reviewed by a group of parents, and then we pass those out at the concert, and they can use them towards their music education.
When you play and you have all the orchestras together, or you play by groups separate, how do you do this? Do you have separate groups? You say you have different orchestras that they put together. Can you jointly play all together for like holidays or something?
Well, this is really interesting that you asked this question, because for the first time in 40 years, we're going to do something special. Not uniquely special in one aspect, but we have over 350 students in the organization, so to put them all in one place is almost like the eighth wonder of the world. But we're going to try to do this because we have a special occasion coming up. On our April 30th concert at the Oxford Performing Arts Center, we will be premiering a brand new piece of music that was written just for us. And it's written in 4 sections. Each of the orchestras of every level will be taking one of the sections. And so we're starting with our second oldest group to kick the concert off with this piece, then the youngest, then the next youngest, and then symphony will conclude. But at the very end, it's written in such a way that everybody can collaborate on the last few measures of the final piece.
Well, that sounds wonderful. That sounds like it's a lot of hard work, and I'm sure that you put a lot of hours into this, but it sounds wonderful. It sounds pretty good. Besides that, I wanted to ask all the students, when you guys are playing with all these people who are watching you, how does it feel? How does it feel to be watched when you're playing? I'm sure that you probably don't have time to see who's watching, because you're busy playing, but how does it feel when you hear the applause, all those people who came to see you?
Well, when you're performing, like you said, you don't really see anything but what you're doing, but it's really interesting to go from being right in the moment and doing your performance and trying to do what you've been working on for so long to the best of your ability, and suddenly it's over and people are standing up, and it's just a really sudden change, but it's always a good feeling to see that people like what you've been working on.
Well, very good. Where is the orchestra rehearsal? That's it, the rehearsals.
Well, rehearsals for the 2 full orchestras, Philharmonia and Symphony, those are at Oakland University. And then the 2 string groups it's at University Presbyterian Church. So it's a very short commute. We have the orchestra rehearsal times coordinated so that students can be, or I should say, so that parents can commute back and forth between Oakland University and the Presbyterian Church. So.
Is a way that the public come see you, or it's not allowed for people to come and see you when you're practicing, or?
Just recently and upcoming this week on Thursday, we've been having and will continue to have open house. And even though these are designated dates for open houses, and some of them have already passed, students are always welcome to drop in, especially prospective students, if they would like to come in and hear the group rehearse and even sit in. If they want to bring their instrument and try to sit in, they are more than welcome to do this to kind of get a sense of what it's like as being a part of the process.
Well, that's very good. What are the favorite pieces that you guys have played, and your favorite ones that you love to play when it's time for you to play all together?
I've been in the group for 8 years, so that's kind of a hard question. I started out in 5th grade all the way in the string orchestra, and I've made my way up to the symphony orchestra. And I remember one of the first pieces I ever played, it was called Heart, Soul, and Stomp. And it was in the string orchestra, and we had electric violins. Some of the kids, they must have borrowed them from school. And it was a very unique piece, and it was the first piece I think that had multiple movements, so I thought that was so cool. But then now we're playing, well, last concert we played Symphonie Fantastique, which that was incredible. It's a wide range.
I think it was my sophomore year. It was my first year in symphony orchestra, and we played Tchaikovsky's 4th Symphony, and that it's just one of my favorite things that I think I've ever been able to be a part of. That was so cool.
My favorite piece was my sophomore year. It was my first year in OIO. I was in Philharmonia, and my favorite piece would be selections from various musicals that we did. For example, Annie, Get Your Gun, Les Miserables, so various selections from those pieces.
Very good. And before we end, I would like to ask you a question. Why should we choose Oakland Youth Orchestra overall?
Well, we're a family, I think. Everyone supports each other. We make great music. It's something that you can be in throughout all your years of education. Like, I've been in it 8 years, like I said, and it's just a great opportunity. I look forward to going to it every Thursday.
Like Orion, we actually don't have a string program at our high school, so if I had just played with our school, I would never have had the chance to be in an orchestra. And playing in an orchestra is really different from playing in a band, and I don't think you can fully comprehend that until you've done it. But being able to play in this orchestra I've gotten so much better because of it, and I never would have been able to do that had I not joined this organization.
And being in an orchestra, it does help you be more musically universal, because being in a band is, like Stephanie had said, it's completely different than being in an orchestra, because you never work with strings when you're in a band.
Yeah, well, on behalf of all of us here in Orion Today, we would like to thank you for coming to our studio and make this beautiful statements and nice, beautiful things that you talk about the Oakland Youth Orchestra. And once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, and we'll see you next time on Orion Today.
Thank you.
Thank you.